vision, and He's also giving us the eyesight. He's also giving us the vision, and He's also giving us the sight so that we can know Him. He's giving us that torchlight of knowledge in this particular chapter. Very important. Okay. So we will continue. First, we will have prayers, and then we will discuss. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnana further. Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Thapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayeva पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. If you see some of the so-called well-developed countries, the most developed country in terms of economical and technological development is considered to be America, United States of America. It's a superpower. And in their currency note, if you see their dollars, they have mentioned, anyone? You have seen the dollars? At one point of time when I was living in Moscow, so my purse was having only dollars. They have written, in God we trust. Their currency says, in God we trust. But the point is, what is the basis of the trust? And what is the extent of trust? Why? Because they lack the knowledge of who God is, what is His greatness, and to what extent the greatness of God reaches us. So if one is not aware of what is the greatness of the God, what is the basis of his trust? That is very temporary. If things go their way, in their planned way, then there is trust. And if the things and the situations go in the reversal way, then there is mistrust or distrust or no trust. But here Krishna is making sure that whoever is studying Bhagavad Gita, he will not only trust Krishna, he will know Krishna with all details. He will realize that how Krishna is maintaining him in his material existence, and he will have a desire and aspiration to serve Krishna. He will ultimately become a lover of Krishna. That is the uniqueness of Bhagavad Gita. That is why we so much emphasize to distribute Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita makes one get a complete understanding of the complete supreme absolute truth. If you see the introduction on the page number 13, Manoram Prabhu, please ask Ravinder why they have not tuned it. Ravinder and Priyanka. And I don't see even Ramya. So in the 13th page, Prabhupada is mentioning this. And the complete whole, the personality of Godhead. Very interesting. So this chapter that we are discussing, what Srila Prabhupada has already introduced in the introduction. Got the complete whole, the personality of Godhead. On the 13th page. Yeah. This is the third paragraph. Has immense potencies. Parasha Saktir Vivideva Shuyate. So how Krishna is acting in different potencies is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. This is what we discussed. The 14 aspects which Krishna explained, how to see his presence in the material existence. What were the examples Krishna gave? That he is the taste of water. He is the light of both sun and the moon. And he is the sound. Among the sound, he is the vibration of Om, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. And he is the ability in man, Paurusham Nishu. So in this way, Krishna is explaining that how he is acting in different potencies. This phenomenal world or material world in which we are placed is also complete in itself, because that 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation. So we have to understand this very importantly, that from the supreme complete, from the complete whole, the personality of Godhead, this material creation is manifested or it is emanating. So it is also complete. And the living entity is also complete. But it is not as complete as the Supreme Lord. It is minuscule. It is infinite, finite, whereas the Supreme Lord is infinite. So very interestingly, Prabhupada gives a very remarkable statement. Come down. He said there is complete facility for the small complete unit. So there are two complete units. One is the small one. What is the small complete unit? Living entity, V. And there is the supreme complete, which is the absolute truth. So Prabhupada says that there is complete facility for the small complete units, namely the living entities, to realize the complete. And all sorts of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. Very, very poetic. All sorts of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. So that complete knowledge of the complete is detailed in the 7th chapter, which is Bhagavad Gyan. This is knowledge of the absolute. And this knowledge, this Gyan will remove all incompleteness that we have, which makes the complete remain incomplete. So it is very important that we really put our heart in trying to understand the knowledge which Krishna is revealing. So he is very mercifully revealing in this section how to know him in completeness. That is what Krishna said. Jnanaham teham se vijnanam idam vakshami asheshta. Yad gyatva na bhuyo anyat gyatavyam avishishyate. You see, in the 7th chapter, 2nd verse only, Krishna declared, the knowledge that I am going to impart to you, my dear Arjuna, it is complete. There is nothing remaining. I shall not declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being wrong, nothing further shall remain for you to know. So this is complete knowledge of the Supreme Absolute. Of in various potencies, various expansions and his energies, all his vibhutis. So this is what the Bhakti Yoga section is, where he is revealing the complete detail of the Supreme Absolute Truth. How to see him in his creation. The creation is the reflection of the creator. How to connect? How to be able to see his hand in his creation? So Krishna is detailing this. So we saw the glories of this chapter, and the person who knows this knowledge, who is situated in this knowledge, is very rare. Then Krishna speaks about his material energies, mainly the eight. Bhumira punalovayu khamano buddhi revacha ahankar iti mayam me vinna prakriti rashtata. And then he says that besides these eight material energies, there is another energy which is the superior energy, which is the spiritual energy, which is the living entity. And what the living entities are attempting, they are trying to exploit the inferior energy. But I am both the source and the essence of both. What is the source? Is the Supreme Lord. And how he is the essence? He explains in this next verses, the series of verses. And he says that beyond me there is nothing. So in the 7th verse, he declares that there is nothing which is beyond me. Everything is below me because they are all my energies. And how he controls or administers everyone, like the pearls are strung on a thread. Invisible. He has an invisible hand in controlling the entire creation. So we discussed till verse number 12. That although, so he has explained about the material creation and how he manifests in his energies as the effect. He is both the cause, we discussed, and he is also the effect. So how he is the cause and he is the effect, after speaking that, then he speaks about that all that is there in this material existence is due to the influence of the three modes. Ye cheva satvika bhava, 12th number verse that we discussed last time. Rajasas, tamasas chaya. So all this cause and effect that you are experiencing in this material world, it is primarily due to the three modes. The three modes are playing the active principle here. But it says matta ebeti tanvidi, and from where they are emanating? They are emanating from me. So they are dependent on me because I am the source. And what are they? They are the effect. So the effect depends on whom? Depends on the source. If the light and the heat we want, what is the dependence? The dependence is the sun. If there is no sun, there is no light and heat. So he is saying that as the sun is independent of the sun light and the heat, so similarly, I am independent of the three modes. So Krishna is giving a discourse on the three modes. That how everything in this world is under the jurisdiction or the influence or the control or the administration of the three modes. And Krishna is beyond the three modes. So, how to be able to see the Supreme Lord who is beyond the three modes? And everyone within this material creation, including living entity, is within the three modes. So, how to be able to access that? That section Krishna is explaining here. That how to know him and who can know him. Very beautiful section. Verse number 13. Tribhir gunmayir bhave ebi sarvam idam jagat mohitam na bhijanati mamebhyo paramavyayam. One more time, everyone. See, if you feel difficult, initially you will find it not so easy because you are not Sanskrit, students. At least I am not. Maybe and some of you might be. But you see the word meaning. If you see from the word meaning, it will become very easy. So it is Tribhi Gunmayir Bhave Ebi Sarvam Nidam Jagat Mohitam Na Bhijanati Mamebhyo Paramavyayam. Recite. Bolo. Little louder than we can hear. Boli. Very good. Good attempt. Bolo, Lila. English bolna. See, Prabhupada has made the English become so easy because he has presented Sanskrit in English. Otherwise, people like us had no opportunity. Cannot read Sanskrit. No possibility of reading Sanskrit. Bolo. Don't hesitate. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावे हे भी सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यो परमव्ययम्. The Bhagavad Gita is a song. This song is being spoken from whom? By the Supreme Lord. And this song is vibrating even after 5,000 years with full glory and full potency. So you also echo it. Bolo, bolo. Loudly. Tribhir, yes, don't hesitate. Tribhir Gunamayir Bhave. See each word. Take one word at a time. You pronounce one word. Okay? Don't think about the full sentence or the full verse. Tribhir Gunamayir Bhave. Ebhi Sarvam Idam Jagat. Mohitam na bhijanati. Amebhyo Paramavyayam. Bolo? Hesitation, you will give up the hesitation. Have a bhi. Very good. Mohitam na bhijanati. Mamebhyo avyayam. Yes. Yes, Shreya. Boliye. Bhaver. See, from bhavana, it is come bhaver. Why it is come bhaver? Because three gunas. The three gunas, so it is plural. Tribhir gunamair bhaver. Bolo. Mamebhyo param avyayam. Avyayam means, vyaya means that which can be spent and become, lost. Avyaya means which can neither be spent and can never be lost. It is unlimited. That which is inexhaustible. The exact meaning is inexhaustible. That which is inexhaustible. So Krishna says that this, in the previous verse, he said that everyone in this world, all states, be of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. And he says that they are under me, they are because they are dependent on me, but I am not within them. That means there is no control of the modes over me. That means he is free from the mode. But as Krishna said, no one can compare to me, but everyone else apart from him is within the jurisdiction of the world. That is why he says, Tribhir Gun Mahir Bhave Ebhi Sarva Midam Jagat. The influence and the control of the three modes, it extends to everyone in this material creation. Ebhi Sarva Midam Jagat. In the entire material existence, the influence and the imposition. Yeah, imposition is the right word. Imposition of the three modes is there for everyone. No one is spared. Everyone is within the jurisdiction of the three modes. And what these three modes does, it deludes them. Mohitam. Mohitam means it pushes them in illusion. What is the greatest illusion that everyone is put into? That he considers himself to be what he is not. He considers himself to be Asat. What is Asat? The temporary body. Which is Asat. It was not there before and it will not exist tomorrow. Tomorrow means in future years to come. And what is Sat? That is the self. He does not accept himself. So what is he? He is Mohitam. See the word Prabhupada is Krishna is speaking. He is deluded. Deluded means he is in illusion. Illusion means which can be cleared. How illusion can be cleared? By little bit of understanding and knowledge. But delusion is a greater extent of illusion, very deep. Delusion will not go very easily. And what is the delusion? Neither he knows himself and na bhi janati, and he also does not know. So Prabhupada Krishna says that deluded by the three modes, which Krishna has explained, ye chem satvika bhava, rajasas, tamasas chaye, goodness, passion and ignorance, the whole world does not know me. If you are the source of everyone and everything, and you are also the effect of all that exists, why people do not know you? Where is the difficulty to know you? When you are there everywhere and you are spread in your creation, so why there is difficulty of people, they are not able to know you? So Krishna is giving the answer here because of the influence, the delusion of the three modes. So the three modes are like three layers or three ropes which covers our consciousness. Which covers our consciousness. Like you have a mirror. Why not? Like if you have a mirror, what are you supposed to see in the mirror? Yourself, your image. But if the mirror is first, it is filled with dust. Can you see? Very little. Even if the dust is there, little bit you can see. You can still utilize. People will find, somewhere they find some mirror, they utilize the mirror. They come in front of the mirror and they try to see how good looking they are, or how they can enhance their looks or impress others. Yeah. But if the mirror is painted black, if the mirror is painted black, then what is the possibility? What can you see? If you see, you will say, what is this? It will be, you will not accept that this is this self. So these three gunas, they are like three levels of covering. It is light, medium, and very dark. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. Covering is there. So these three gunas, they bewilder, they delude the living entity. And what is that covering? It covers the knowledge of the Supreme Absolute. The whole world does not. And why they are not able to know Krishna? Because Krishna is Mamebhyo Param Avyayam. Krishna is beyond the modes. He is above the modes and he is inexhaustible. He cannot be, his existence cannot be terminated at any point. He remains there forever in his supreme absolute form. Okay, understood the verse? Why everyone is deluded? Why we cannot know Krishna? Why cannot we know ourselves? Why we cannot have the realization of who we are? Because there is these three levels of coverings by the modes. And what these modes does, they very naturally and very prominently push us in delusion. They push us in dense illusion. So neither we know ourselves, neither we can know who is the Supreme. So Bhagavad Gita dispels the delusion. This is what Arjuna said. What did Arjuna say after hearing Bhagavad Gita? Nashta moha. My delusion has been dispelled. So as a student of Bhagavad Gita, this should be our mission. That we should be getting freer from delusion. We should not remain in illusion or delusion. That means we are not hearing Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna very clearly said that Nashta moha and Smriti labdva. Smriti means memory has come back. So what the three modes do? It covers our memory also. It pushes us in delusion and it covers our memory. What is our memory which is covered? Our relation with the Supreme Lord. We have forgotten our relation with the Supreme Lord. Okay. So let us discuss the purport. The Prabhupada says that the whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. So please understand, ever Krishna is saying that Sarvam idam jagat, that no one is spared. He might be the president of United States, and now who cares who is the president of United States? Biden became the president of United States, no power. All power is depleted. Or he may be the prime minister of Russia or China or India or whoever. Everyone is under the influence of the three modes. The Prabhupada said the whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by the three modes cannot understand the transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So because in context to what Krishna is speaking here, he is talking about his own self. This chapter is entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. So why we cannot know Krishna? Because of the three modes, the influence of the three modes. Every living entity under the influence of the material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities according. This is a very important statement. That under the influence of the material nature, everyone has a particular type of body. What it depends? It depends on one's guna. And according to guna, guna means the quality. And where is the quality he has acquired? What quality he has acquired? In the third chapter, fifth verse, Krishna explained. What did he explain? Nahi kashi shanamapi jatu tishtanti akarmakar karate hi avasha karma. Please see the second line very attentively. Karate hi avasha karma sarve prakriti jar guna. So everyone is forced to act helplessly. How he has to act helplessly? According to the mode he has acquired from the material nature. So as the influence of mode is, accordingly he gets the body. And as he gets the body, accordingly is his activity. So it is nothing, the jiva becomes completely helpless. Why? Because the entire domination and the control is of the material mode. So once we have gone to the lower mode, if one has gone into the body of a dog, whatever you try, he cannot speak. Whenever he will speak, it will be like barking. Can you make the dog sing? It will bark. Why? Because the biological activity. The biological activity is according to the body. That is very, very dangerous. If we glide down the mode, if the influence of the lower mode comes, so we will go in the next life, in that influence of mode, we will get a degraded body. And once you get a degraded body, your activity will be according to that mode. So then you are completely helpless. I'll give you one example. Before you buy a ticket, say supposedly you have to travel from Delhi to Mumbai. So what options you have? You can go by train. You can go by flight. You can also go by road. All options are there. But once you have taken a ticket in the flight, and once you have boarded the plane, then do you have any choice? You don't have any choice. You are completely dependent on the airlines and their pilot. Airline would declare that we will assure you takeoff. We can assure you safe takeoff. But can they assure safe landing? That is not in their hand. So we are completely dependent. This is what Krishna is explaining. That everyone is deluded by the influence of the mode. And according to the mode, they get the body. And based on the body and the effect of the mode, they perform the action or the activity. So there are 4 classes of men functioning in the 3 material modes of nature. That is called Guna Karma Vibhagyo. As Krishna explained in the 4th chapter, that I have divided the society according to the Guna. Guna is there, mode. Guna is what? Mode, material mode. It is also called the rope. Guna is also called the rope. Like you have seen a puppeteer, Katputli. So what a puppeteer does? The puppet can do nothing. The puppet strings are in the hands of the puppeteer. It depends on the puppeteer whether he wants to lift the right hand of the puppet. Does puppet has the choice? Huh? When the puppeteer pulls the string of the right hand, can he say, no, no, my right hand is spinning. I will not lift my right hand. I can lift my left hand. No. So similarly, see how the modes influence us. So there are four classes of men functioning according to the three modes of material nature. So in this human society, the influence of the three modes, basically the prominent of the mode can be seen in four divisions. It is called Varna and Ashrama. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. So if somebody claims to be a Brahmana, he has to be in the both. He has to be in the psychological and biological activities according to a Brahmana. Based on this basis, it is impossible to get a Brahmana. Because whoever is claiming to be a Brahmana, neither he has the quality of a Brahmana. What is the quality of a Brahmana? What is the quality of a Brahmana? Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter. He explains. Samadama tapa shaucham. First thing is sama. Sama means he has to have mind control. His mind must be controlled. And dama means his senses should be controlled. And he should be performing austerity. Tapa, shaucham, austerity and cleanliness. He should always be impeccably clean. If you come and see any Krishna conscious practitioner, you will see they are very clean. They at least take 2-3 times bath in a day. Minimum, bare minimum. Not that we are lazy or crazy. Either it is heat or it is cold. Whether we get hot water or no hot water. But unless and until we take bath, we don't feel that it will be very difficult to practice. Because the lower mode influence will always influence us. So the Brahmana means he is always performing austerity and he is always going a clean way. And his most biggest austerity is mind and his senses are controlled. He is a Goswami. Must be a Goswami. In the 18th chapter, Krishna explains. 42nd verse, 18.42. Shamadama tapa shaucham, then shantir. Shantir means tolerance. Tolerance means if you insult a Brahmana, even if you spit at him, he is not supposed to retaliate. Retaliation is the swabhava of whom? Kshatriya. Kshatriya cannot tolerate. Kshatriya means that he is having Ishwar bhav. He cannot tolerate. And Arjavam. Arjavam means he must be honest. And he has to have Jnanam and Vijnanam. He has to have both knowledge and realization. And then Astikyam. Astikyam means he has to be always on the righteous path. Religious. He has to be following the path of Dharma. Where you will find such a person? You find such a person with all these qualities. So Krishna's first line is explaining both the qualities and also the activities. Then one becomes a Brahman. So if one is in pure goodness, he has to perform the functions of a Brahman. So we have now people who claim to be a Brahmana, but on the basis of quality and activity, they don't qualify to be a Brahmana. And those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. The second class is administrative class, the kingly class or the royal order, or those who are in management, those who are managers or presidents or head of the state or head of the department. They should be having the qualities of a Kshatriya. Then those who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, So this is the hierarchy. So the topmost is the Brahmana, who is in the mode of goodness. Then lower than him is the Kshatriya, who is influenced by the mode of passion. But there are further two classes where there is a influence of passion along with ignorance. So such a person is called a Vaishya. Vaishya means business person. Now today we say businessman has become the highest. Whoever has money, he puts everyone under his control. So a mercantile man or a Vaishya is supposed to have influence of mode of passion and also some influence of ignorance. And the one who is mainly in the influence of the mode of ignorance, such a person is called as Shudra. The Shudra are required because without the help of Shudra, society cannot work. They are the support function. They serve. They serve all the three. They serve the Brahmana also, they serve the Kshatriya also, and they serve the Vaishya also. Those who are less than that are animals or in animal form. So, but now we don't see, neither do we find Brahmana, nor do we find Kshatriya, nor the Vaishya, and not even the Shudra. Because Shudra means he is completely dedicated and loyal to his master, and he does service whatever is told to him. Today it does not happen. If you keep an employee, if you keep a worker, a laborer, and tell him this is what you have to do, 2-3 days he will do, and then he will say, no, I cannot do it. I want to change. I want to go to some other master where he will pay me more and I have to work less. But I don't have to work. The Prabhupada is saying that, and those who are less than that are animals or animals. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. But although life is temporary, we do not know what we are going to be in the next life. So we don't know what we are going to be in the next life. People have no knowledge of there is existence after death also. No knowledge. They don't believe in reincarnation. Why they don't believe? Because they have no knowledge. Just because they don't have knowledge and they don't believe, reincarnation will not be there. It will be there. It is there. By the spell of this illusionary energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life. And thus we think that we are American, Indian, Russian, or Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the mode of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is behind all this. So Lord Krishna says that all living entities deluded by these three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this knowledge and realization is not there because of the coverings. So this material mode creates coverings, various layers. How many layers of coverings are there? At least 81. Prabhupada in one lecture he is explaining. How it is 81? So he gives the example. That there are three material modes. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. And our subtle body has three elements. What is there? Mind, intelligence, and ego. So 3 to the power 3 is 9. And 9 to the power 3 is 81. 81. Like I gave the example the other day of three basic colors. So with three basic colors, you can have as many combinations. So how desires come? Very interestingly, how we have the desires, unlimited desire. It is with the interaction of the subtle body with the three modes. How many combinations will be there? Mind having interaction with the mode of goodness. Little goodness, more of passion. Different desire will come. What will be the desire? Desire will be that how I can become famous, how I can become rich and famous. Then there is mode of passion, there is little mode of ignorance. What will be the desire? How I can enjoy? How I can enjoy unrestrictedly. So in this way, there are millions and millions of desires. And in one lecture, Srila Prabhupada was saying that there are at least 84, 8.4 million desires. So that is why Krishna has to create one body according to each desire. So there are 8.4 million bodies he has to give, because he has to allow every living entity to fulfill his desire. So this mode, the influence is so heavy and so deep that once the modes take over, then we are helpless. So there are different types of living entities, human beings, demigods, animal, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of the material nature. How under the influence of material nature? By the influence of three modes. And each of them have forgotten the transcendental personality of Godhead. Those who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, and even those in the mode of goodness, cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of the Absolute. That is why Krishna said, what did Krishna say? In the second chapter, he said, Nirdvando nitya sattvasto niryoga shema bhava atmavan. What is the first line? Triguna Vishaya Veda. Triguna Vishaya Veda. Nestra Guna Bhava Arjuna. Arjuna, what you have to do? You have to go beyond the influence of the three modes. So whoever is within the three modes, so here Prabhupada is explaining that even if you are in a pure mode of goodness, what is the maximum elevation that one can reach? Is impersonal Brahma Jyoti, nothing beyond that. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his personal feature, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. When even those who are in the mode of ignorance, Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. So when we serve Krishna, because Krishna is beyond the three modes, Prabhupada gives the example that if you put the iron in fire, so because the iron is having the association of fire, it is no longer iron. If you touch the iron, what it will do? It will burn you. Why? Because it has acquired the properties of fire when it is in fire. But if you take out that iron and put it in the water, what will happen? In the association of water, it will become rust. Isn't it? It will go all waste. समझ में आ रहा है? समझ में आ रहा है? बहुत डीप फिलोसफी है कृष्ण समझा रहे हैं और स्टेप बाय स्टेप समझा रहे हैं कि हम कहाँ फंसे हैं, कितना फंसे हैं और कैसे निकल सकते हैं. Where all we are trapped, how depth is that trap, and what is the way that we can get out. What we need Krishna's help to get out from this trap. I'll take another verse also. Then he explains about this Maya Shakti, this Devi Shakti. He says, Devi hi esha gunmayi mamaya duradaya mamevaya prapadyante maya metam tarantite. So he says there's this energy of mind. Which energy of mind? Comprising the three modes. This material nature. Or here he's saying Gunmai. This energy of mind which is Gunmai, which is comprising of the three modes. What it is? It is Daivi. It is divine. Don't think that it is very abominable. No. Very divine. Like the police department of the government. If you think, police department is useless. क्या काम है उनका? क्रिमिनल चोरों को उचक्कों को पकड़ते हैं. What jurisdiction they have on us? It is for all those low class people. Is it so? Police has all the power. Why? Where is the power coming from? The government. Police is the agency of the government. So similarly, this material nature, how it is empowering the jivas when the material nature is inferior and the jiva is superior. Why? Because it is getting the empowerment from the Supreme Lord. So it is able to control and influence everyone, like he said in the last verse. Krishna is saying here that Devi hi Esha Gunmai, and to control or cross over the material nature or the three modes is Mammaya Durattaya. It is very, very difficult. Durattaya means it is, Prabhupada says very difficult. Very difficult to overcome. Then what to do? Should we become Maya's servant? Should we serve Maya? Krishna says no. Mam eva ya prapadyante Maya metam tarantite. But those who take my shelter, those who perform service unto me, what I do? I release them from the influence of Maya. So the influence of the three modes cannot be released by any human effort. What it requires? It requires the intervention of the Supreme Personality of God. Why? Because this influence is created by the three modes. And the three modes are far superior in power to dilute the condition. So the one who surrenders to Krishna, then he can release. Prabhupada gives a very good example how to understand. Like you have seen now, people, they live more with pets. आप जाइए किसी के घर में तो बड़ा सा कुत्ता आएगा. You call the doorbell and who will come to receive you? A dog. And how he will welcome you? By barking and showing as if he's going to bite you, so that you are scared. You step back. What kya kar diya? Why did I call people? And he will start barking upon you as if he is going to pounce and kill you. Then what will happen? After some time, the owner will come. And the master will come of the dog. And if the master knows you, if you are known to the master, then before you are speaking, what the master will do? He will tell the dog to get in and get lost. And you can come in. You can meet him. But if you try to say, if the dog comes, get out or get lost, hut, then what he will do? He will charge upon. He will charge. There is one incident. Prabhupada always went for morning walks. So he was on the morning walk in Juhu. There is a big beach in Juhu. So our temple is nearby. So Prabhupada was with his disciples. He used to go for morning walk in the Juhu to get fresh air. And when Prabhupada and his disciples were walking, many people come with dogs. You see, in the morning walk, people have dog walk. They don't want to do morning walk. They want to have dog walk. And what they do? The dog wants to clear his stomach. So they are searching. Okay, this is what they are doing. And in foreign countries, they have to carry some plastic. Why? Because India still, the dog can leave his stool anywhere. But in foreign countries, it is not allowed. So what they have to do? They have to carry a pack, a plastic bag, so that they can lift the stool of the pet wherever it releases the stool. This is what they are doing. Then they are saying there is advancement. So in any case, so these dogs, they were there. So when they saw Prabhupada and his disciples, so they again, started to charge. Like I go to the morning walk every day, my schedule, every day I go. So in the park, I see many dogs and I just go past them. I don't, give any importance. So most of the time they try to put their influence. They try to scare you by standing up. They will stand up on two legs as if they are ready to charge upon you. So the two dogs were there. And as they showed to charge on Prabhupada and his disciples, Prabhupada was carrying his cane. Prabhupada took his cane and beat it on the ground. That hut. And both the dogs, dog when they are scared, what they do, they put their tail below their legs and they ran. So now all his disciples thought that now we know the trick, how to deal with the dog. So after a few days again, the same scene came and Brahmanand Prabhu was there. Very tall. Brahmanand Prabhu is, very well built and very tall. And as he tried to do what Srila Prabhupada did, huh, he told the dog, hut, and the dog pounced upon it. Same happened with monkey also in Vrindavan, Yamuna Mataji. When Prabhupada was serving, so one monkey used to come and disturb Yamuna Mataji while she was cooking. It was a very big fat monkey. And one day Prabhupada, spoke to that monkey. After that, that monkey was never seen. So why so? Because they are all under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Like, government agency. If a criminal thinks that he can influence the police department, can he do that? However big a criminal may be, the police department is having more power. Why? Because the power is coming from the government. This is what Krishna is saying. That Mam Maya Duratya. Because the power of the material energy is coming from me. Mam Maya Duratya. And this material energy is working under my jurisdiction, under my superintendence. So it has become divine. Because it is serving the supreme divine, it has also become divine. But how to go beyond the influence of the three modes? Mamevaya prapadyante. Those who surrender unto me, then what I do? I release the covering of Maya from them. Okay, see the translation. I'll discuss this verse next time because there is a lot to discuss and it is becoming night. The divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. So Krishna is very pragmatically giving this revelation that, my dear Arjuna, on your own it is not possible for you to go beyond the influence of the three modes. What are you thinking? You can change the mode. From Kshatriya, you can become a Brahmana. Not possible. Not possible. Arjuna was saying, I will not fight. And what I will become? I will become a beggar. So Dan and taking charity and accepting charity is the activity of a Brahmana. He said, you cannot do that. So, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond. Like I gave the example of that dog, that big dog. Okay. Let us discuss a little first paragraph. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Why? Because it is coming from the Supreme Divine. That is one reason. But the more profound reason is because it is acting under the direction of the Supreme, it has become divine. So if we also act under the Supreme's direction, then we also become divine. What is the example? His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. We say he is divine grace. Why? Because his life is completely as per the instructions of the Supreme Lord. Although the living entities are parts of his energies and are therefore divine, due to contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. So we have discussed this part, how the covering is by the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Being thus covered by material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. We discussed this. As previously stated, both the material and spiritual natures are being emanations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord. But due to contamination by the inferior nature matter, their illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nitya Bhat or eternally conditioned. So since when we have become conditioned? It is since time even. Since the day we have come under the influence of the three modes, what we have become? We have become conditioned. What is the conditioning? Conditioning means that we do not know who we are. And we also do not know who the Supreme Lord is. And of course, we also do not know what is our relation with the Supreme Lord. So this is called conditioning. It's called Nitya Bhat. What is Bhat means? To be captive. Captive means which is under control. So what is under control? The living entity is under the control of material nature. How? This body is given by whom? Material nature. Where is the subtle body given by? Material nature. Huh? Krishna has explained that very beautifully in this fourth verse. Huh? भूमिरापो वायु खम मनोर बुद्धि रेवचा अहंकारिति मह्यम में भिन्ना प्रकृति रष्टदा. So the inferior nature has covered the superior nature. Then he says that beyond this there is the superior nature. That is the spirit soul. So the spirit soul is bound within the material nature, between the subtle body and the gross body. So it is called condition. It's called Nityabad. Avastha, or the situation where the spirit comes under the jurisdiction and control of matter. This is what Krishna is explaining. So the living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord, but due to contamination by the inferior nature matter, their illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nityabad or eternally conditioned. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain date in material history. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult. Even though that material nature is inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome. So it is foolish to try to win over the influence of the world. Why? Because result will be only one. What is the result? 100% failure. Whatever effort or energy you put, it will be futile. Inferior material nature is defined herein as divine due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. This is the point. Being conducted by divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully that the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. The Vedas confirm this as following. Mayam tu prakriti vidyan, mahiyanam tu maheshwaram. Although Maya illusion is false or temporary, the background of Maya is the supreme magician, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is Maheshwar, the supreme controller. This is from Shweta Upanishad, 4 part. Another meaning of guna is rope, as we discussed. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. If a man is bound by hands and feet and is thrown in the sea, what is this possibility? Can he be rescued? No, he will drown. He must be held by a person who is unbound. Yeah. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. So who gives who is unbound? The pure devotees, spiritual master, the representatives of the Supreme Lord. So they are unbound, and what they can do? They can release us from our bondage. Therefore, only Lord Krishna or his bona fide representatives, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material. This is a very important statement. And without the superior help, one cannot be freed. You were asking me in the morning. You can complete. That you want to wake up morning, but unable to wake up. कौन रोकता है? कोई रोक रहा है? Physically कोई रोक रहा है? But certainly it is so difficult. What is the difficult? Influence of what? कैसे बांधा हुआ है? Invisible रस्सी से बांधा हुआ. ना तो जल्दी सो सकते, ना जल्दी उठ सकते. दोनों ही है. सो भी नहीं सकता. सो गए नहीं. अल्टीमेटली वही टाइम हो जाएगा. 12, 1, 2. किया क्या है? कुछ नहीं. Just we have killed time. We are very expert in killing time. ऐसा नहीं है रोज बैठ के बहुत पढ़ा है. वो नहीं होता. मोबाइल फोन देखेंगे आप. मोबाइल फोन में जैसे ही आपका ध्यान गया, टाइम कहाँ गया पता नहीं चलेगा. यू विल बी कंप्लीटली बिविल्डर्ड. तो माया का सबसे बड़ा आज की डेट में वेपन है. दिस इज द नेवर फीलिंग. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंडीशन. without from the bondage of material nature, insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. He orders this release out of his causeless mercy on the surrendered soul, out of his paternal affection for the living entities, who is originally a beloved son of the Lord. Therefore, surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is the only means to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. Okay. The word Mam Eva also significant. Mam means unto Krishna, Vishnu only, and not Brahma or Shiva. So whom we have to surrender? We have to exclusively surrender to Krishna only. If we actually want to get free from the influence of Maya. And how Maya acts? Through the three modes. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are all almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible for such incarnation of Rajoguna, passion, and Tamoguna, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya. Therefore, he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Veda Shveta Upanishad confirms the phrase Tam eva viditva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur evna samshaya. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. Hare Krishna. So to some extent, we discussed the very important aspect is to understand that how much we are under the influence of the moons, how we are helpless, and what is the possibility, how to be free from the influence of the world, to take shelter of Krishna. To the extent we take shelter of Krishna, to the extent we process Krishna consciousness, we will be freed from the influence of the three modes. And to the extent we are freed from the three modes, then we can see the reality. Otherwise, there will be mohitam, illusion, delusion, confusion. Okay. Hare Krishna. Any question? Any discussion? Krishna is diagnosing. What is he diagnosing? The defect or the disease. Unless and until there is proper diagnosis, is there any possibility of cure? Most of the time, why the person is suffering? Because it is not being diagnosed. What is the disease? So Krishna is diagnosing here in complete depth and detail. Where is the difficulty? Where is the failure? In surrender, in submission. Why the modes are always influencing us? Why we are not able to free from the mode? We are not surrendering. We are making a show, but show will not work with Krishna. We have to tell him that we are also serious. When we went to the tour, उठ रहे थे ना, आराम से उठ रहे थे ना. हमारे साथ अगर मायापुर चलोगे तो 10 दिन उठाऊंगा, आराम से उठोगे, कुछ भी नहीं होगा. क्योंकि क्या होता है, जो भी भगवान ने बताया, मोड्स का इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं होता. मोड का इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं होता. इधर आके भगवत गीता पढ़ो, बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है. अपने कमरे में जाके खोल के पढ़ो, देखो कैसा लगेगा. कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा, क्या ये कहाँ फंसा दिया है. क्योंकि क्या वर्क करेगा, करेगा, कुछ समझने नहीं देगा. तो इसलिए मैं सुबह बोल रहा था, ज्यादा डिस्कशन, एसोसिएशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. वी आर नॉट फायर, वी आर आयरन. बट व्हेन वी कम इन द एसोसिएशन ऑफ फायर, iron also acts like fire. When we come in touch with the Supreme Lord, we become transcendental. We easily cross beyond the three modes. So remain. Why again? Why you have to go into the water? If you go in water means material association, worldly association, then the modes will very strongly work. But if you remain in spiritual association, you will see modes will start helping. Mode will start favoring us. The choice is ours, what we desire. Very important to hear Bhagavad Gita, because what it will change? It will change our desires. How it will change our desire? First, it will change our conception. It will remove our misconception and give the right spiritual conception. Like if you want to have grapes, but you are putting the seeds of mango, so can you have grapes? No. Or whatever you try, whatever best uh, manure you give, whatever you try, but in the seed of mango, grapes can never come. So all our conceptions are material. So in material conception, how spiritual desire can be? So we have to hear. When we are hearing, there will be some inspiration. What will be the inspiration? That yes, I want to accept what Krishna is speaking. I also want to first, to the extent understanding is there, to that extent there will be conviction or inspiration. And as that inspiration or conviction come, Krishna is there in the heart and Paramatma. He is the first witness and he will be very pleased. And what he will do? He will make favorable arrangements so that that spiritual desire can be fulfilled. Material desire will not be fulfilled. Material desire will fulfill on the basis of law of karma. But the spiritual desire, even if we don't qualify, even if we don't have the merit, Krishna will arrange for it. But that desire has to be pure, not a showy desire. Okay. So if you want to wake up early, very simple formula is there. Sleep early. Early to bed and early to rise. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Apply. I got a new assistant in my office. Yesterday I asked him when I was taking my lunch. I normally take at between 2 and 3, so that I don't have to take 2 times. It suffices for both. It is between lunch and dinner. So I asked him, did you take lunch in the morning breakfast? He said, no. I said, why? They did not give you. He said, I was late. He just came 5 minutes before 10. I said, why you were late? He said, I was sleeping late. So I asked him, how many hours do you sleep? New boy who has just come from village. He says, Prabhuji, kabhi 8 ghanta, kabhi 9 ghanta. And I could not control my laughter. He is so carefree that he can sleep for 8 hours or 9 hours. So much time he has to waste. So if you practice spirituality, two things will come under regulation. What is that? Yukta har viharas. You are eating also and you are sleeping. Second aspect is, if you want to regulate your sleep, you have to regulate your eating. If in the night you take too much of food and then you sleep, then you cannot wake up. So we never eat in the night. We hardly eat. After sunset, we don't eat. Because if we take that, the body will take so much of energy to digest it. You are all scientific students, find it out. All the energy of the body will be uh, uh, utilized in digesting what you have taken. So you cannot wake up. So if you want to regulate, just follow what Krishna is saying. Simple. Is there any condition? Is there any influence of more stronger than Krishna's influence? No. Sleep early and take early dinner. I tell my students, those who are hearing, आपने डिनर कर लिया है रविंदर एंड प्रियंका या नहीं किया है?
कर लिया प्रभु जी।
कर लिया? तो 10:30 बजे तक क्यों जगे रहते हैं? क्लास तो अभी खत्म हो गई 9 बजे, अभी 1.5 घंटा और क्यों जगने की जरूरत है? जितना जल्दी सोएंगे उतना आपका स्पिरिचुअल अपलिफ्टमेंट होगा, ऑटोमेटिकली सवेरे उठ जाएंगे। और जितना जल्दी उठेंगे उतना बढ़िया जप होगा, और जितना बढ़िया जप होगा उतनी बढ़िया कॉन्शियसनेस होगी, और जितनी बढ़िया कॉन्शियसनेस होगी उतनी जल्दी ये नॉलेज क्या होगी, रियलाइज हो जाएगी, नहीं तो होगी। सब कुछ कनेक्टेड है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। मनोराम प्रभु, आप तो 12 से पहले सोते नहीं होंगे? हाँ? या सो जाते हैं?
10-10:30 होता है प्रभु जी, हो जाता है।
10 शुड बी कट ऑफ, और 10 बजे सोने के लिए 9 बजे से वाइंड अप करना शुरू करो। डिफिकल्ट जानते हैं ना, ट्रैप है, लोअर मोड का इन्फ्लुएंस है। पैशन सोने नहीं देगा, पैशन सोने नहीं देगा, और इग्नोरेंस उठने नहीं देगा। अब करे क्या? तो फंस गए दोनों तरफ से, दोनों ने फंसा रखा है। हो सके तो मोबाइल फोन को त्याग दो। लोग सो भी जाते हैं, मैं देखता हूँ ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में भी लाइट बंद कर देंगे, लेट जाएंगे, लेकिन घंटों तक मोबाइल से खेलते रहेंगे। पता ही नहीं चलेगा रात कब हो गई है, सुबह भी हो जाएगी। हाँ, तो जो हमारे ट्रैप्स है, हमें पता है। लोग रेजोल्यूशन लेंगे ना, अभी नया साल आएगा कि मेरा ये वाला साल, आई विल नॉट डू दिस, आई विल नॉट डू दैट, मैं ये चेंज करूंगा, मैं वो चेंज करूंगा। कितने दिन होता है? हाउ मेनी डेज कर पाते हैं? कुछ नहीं होता। क्यों? क्योंकि मोड चेंज नहीं हुआ, मोड चेंज नहीं हुआ। तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? मोड चेंज करना पड़ेगा, डिफॉल्ट सेटिंग जो है वो चेंज कर। अब मेरे मोबाइल फोन पे अभी मेरा ईमेल है, मैं ये देता हूँ, तो मुझे क्या करना है? खाली ईमेल पे क्लिक करूंगा, कहाँ जाएगा? मेरे इनबॉक्स में जाएगा। इनका ईमेल नहीं दे सकता, इनका करना पड़ेगा, करना पड़ेगा। तो प्रैक्टिस दी regulations put us in mode of goodness, waking up still do। 365 दिन उसी समय उठते हैं, स्कूल पे ये मेरे साथ ग्रुप में मिलते हैं, 2:30 बजे उठ जाते हैं।
प्रभु जी आप म्यूटेड हैं।
Okay. So this gives an indication that I have to mute, I have to stop, because it will get late. So thank you all very much. But this very important section Krishna is saying. So Krishna will tell who will surrender and who will not surrender. The next two verses Krishna will speak about that. So this section is very important. So either we surrender to Krishna, or by default, if we don't surrender to Krishna, we are already surrendered to the three modes, and we remain in a suffering state. People complain, why we are suffering? What have we done that we are suffering? Because we have not surrendered to Krishna. We have not performed devotional service to Krishna. So in a way, the material nature punishes. If a criminal is there, the criminal will get what? Punishment. What is the punishment? Influence of the three modes. You call anyone, बुलाओ किसी को, डॉक्टर के पास बोलो कि दवाई दे दो, सुबह उठ जाओ। है किसी डॉक्टर के पास दवाई? ला सकता है? कुछ नहीं ला सकता। But we have the medicine. We have the medicine. What is the medicine? Is to follow what Krishna says. Simple. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, और ग्लोरीज टू दी